Alright, welcome back. So yesterday was another beautiful day for version Wick Theory with 4 potential winning setups throughout the day. Personally, I was able to catch one of them, but I'll still break down what I saw with the other 3 in this video and why I think they were valid, even though I didn't take them. Before we get into the trades, I just want to do a super quick achievements shout out, community highlights. I've forgotten to do these in a while, so we've got quite a few bunched up. But yeah, shout out to Dex, who took a little break and then came back strong, who just passed his 100k, really nice to see. Core Philosophy, this guy's been growing so much lately. He's absolutely crushing it now. Look at this, 25-hour trade. And just a note on that is, some people like big R trades. Some people like 1-to-1 R trades. I think it's very personal, and it's very silly to tell someone that they are doing it wrong just because they aim for high R or low R. So shout out to Core Philosophy. Hopefully get some more big R trades from him. Sarah, almost passing an eval with Virgin Wick Theory. Very nice. Cupboard Welder, who is feeling like he can finally execute without fear, which is awesome to see. We've got Bayonator passing an account. I'm not sure if it's Virgin Wick Theory, but shout out to Bayonator anyways. Weigh-in passing Virgin Wick Theory plus supply and demand. So nice to see people adding their own concepts to it, similar to Sarah. And passing an account. And then we've got Wedding passing his Lucid eval. Very nice, very nice. McGill passing his very first eval. Shout out to McGill. And of course, RN the GOAT, just payout on top of payout, crushing it as always. And lastly, this Evan Moses dude, who's actually been posting some YouTube videos recapping his take on Virgin Wick Theory, which is pretty interesting, and they're pretty funny as well, with his little pointer hand. Check him out if you have time. But let's get into the trades. So yeah, as always, this is Virgin Wick Theory, waiting for untouched wicks to get closed through. Then we wait for price to come back down and engage with that level, into FVGs, then an IFVG back to the upside. And of course, wanting to make sure we are on the right side of premium / discount. So let's get into the trades. So these were the 3 that I spotted yesterday. Yeah, really clean moves, most of them during London. But let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with this one. This was London yesterday, 3 a.m. So we have this 2 a.m. candle, very strong close through this and this. So these are your bullish. How can I select them? These are your bullish points of interest, right? And these are very strong POIs because, as you can see, the candle before this swept a bunch of lows. Took out that low and took out that low. So if you've been following, this is what we call post-sweep POIs. So I can actually rename this to bullish PSPs. So yeah, there's a very strong chance that we can get a reversal at 3 a.m. So this is what it looked like on the 1 minute. We had these POIs to work with, bullish PSPs. The hour started, we came down, engaged both POIs, and then created a change in state of delivery, and then nice entry for a profit. The reason I did not take this is, so let me mark out our range, our current dealing range. So for me, the current dealing range is from down there to up here. Kind of messy with everything there, but hopefully you can see that from down here to here is our current dealing range. And if I go back to the 1 minute time frame, you can see the 0.5 level, just ignore that. The 0.5 level is here. So there is our midpoint. And ideally, I would want to see us start the hour, engage these PSPs, come down into the discount range, or at least just tap the 0.5 and then go back up. But we did not, so personally I did not feel comfortable taking this, but I know some people took it, and it did end up being a winner. And something interesting I noticed is if you actually go on MES, which is the correlated asset, you'll notice if we draw out that same range, so if I go to my 5-minute and draw out our dealing range from there to there, MES actually tapped into that 0.5 midpoint and had a nice reaction. And so with the theory that these two assets are correlated, you could then go back to MNQ and say, technically we actually did dip into a discount because MES did. And so this would be a valid trade. So that's something I'm going to keep an eye out on moving forwards, is just watching both MES and MNQ. And if one of them shows something and the other doesn't, then you can kind of just assume that the other one will follow suit. So this is a very valid trade, in my opinion, if you were just watching the discounted zone on MES. But yeah, let me just go back to the start and see how this trade played out. So POIs get engaged. There are no IFEGs, so this is one of those instances where you have to take a CISD entry. And what I like about this CISD is we get a nice sweep, and then it's a multiple candle CISD, so it's not just one. And we also close through the wick, which is a pretty long wick. And we do it in one very large candle. So for me, that's a pretty strong CISD. It's not one of these like puny weak ones like up here or something. So yeah, I really like this. So I would take this if I saw that we had tapped into a discount. Nonetheless, it plays out pretty nicely. Even takes out that drawn liquidity up there. So could have gotten a potential 2.6R out of it. Very nice. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, for this next trade, the POI we are using is this one. So yes, it is quite a while ago, but it had been untouched the whole time. So depending on your rules, you can consider this valid or not. And so POI is all the way from there. And let's go back to the 1 minute chart. So after that trade, price came down, and then what I like about this setup is we tapped into a POI that was untouched from before, and additionally, we also swept this major low here, this major swing point here, which was the bottom of our discounted zone, followed by a very strong inverse fair value gap back to the upside. So deep discount, bullish point of interest, nice liquidity sweep. It's A+, everything you want to see. So I was happy to take this one. Inverse fair value gap right there. And then, yeah, you could enter in right there, stop loss down there. Yeah, I think this one ran quite a lot, but personally, I am just doing 1-to-1R for now. But let's see how much you could have gotten out of it. Yeah, I know a bunch of people took this one. And I think if you go to the 0.5, that's a good level. Yeah, and then it ends up dumping down. And then let's look at this one. So there was another setup just a couple hours later. I did not take this one because, as you can see, it's at what, like between 6 and 7 a.m., which is not in any kill zone. It's like this weird area between London finishing and just before New York open. But I have noticed lately that there are quite a few decent setups around this time. And it makes sense because, sure, it's not in any kill zone, but there's still volume from London and there's still volume coming in from pre-New York. And overall, it's more volume than a session like Asia. Asia's been pretty dog shit, which is why I'm not even looking at it much these days. Yeah, like I would say a time like this is even more valid than Asia. And it moves pretty nicely, as you can see. Do we have a POI here? Yeah, so this is the 1 hour chart, and here is the point of interest we are looking at. And again, sure, you can say it's from a while ago, but still, it has not been engaged, it has not been touched ever since it was created. So technically, it's still valid, depending on how long you trade POIs for. But there is the point of interest we are working with. As you can see, it got closed through here by this candle, creating this POI. So if we go back to the 1 minute time frame, you can see it got engaged, and then almost immediately after it got engaged, we have a nice IFVG right there. Instant V reversal, you can enter in there. Stop loss down there. And yeah, let's see how much you get out of it. Something like that. Let me mark out my range. So your dealing range would be right about there. So yeah, you could target the 0.5. I have noticed that the midpoint of the current range is generally a pretty good target. So I'd say 2.34 is a pretty good target for that one, if that floats your boat. I know some people like more R, some people like less R. So yeah, kind of just chops around after that. So I would say, yeah, the midpoint is a pretty good target, because after that, it just chops around. But yeah, 3 really clean trades in a row from London to pre-New York time. I caught one of them, but the other 2 are just as valid, as you saw. And there was also one set up on gold, which I personally did not take because this was during New York session at 10 a.m. But I thought I'd just go over it anyways, because it looks pretty nice to me. So what we have here is, let me start with drawing my POI. All right, so we have, oh, it looks like a post-sweep POI, very nice. So the candle I'm looking at is this 9 a.m. candle, closing very strongly, bearishly through this, and yeah, I believe that's it. So these are your 2 bearish post-sweep POIs, because as you notice, before these POIs were created, this candle swept this high, giving it even more strength behind the move. So that's why I call these post-sweep POIs. And then if I go to the 5 minute to draw my range, as you can see, the range is clearly, whoa, okay, clearly from here to here. All right, so that's our current dealing range. Here is premium, here is discount, here is the midpoint. Now back to the 1 minute. As you can see, price comes up, engages the POI, and we get a beautiful rejection of the 0.5 level. The 0.5 level has been magic. I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you've been playing around with this, but it is a very strong point of interest by itself for rejections / continuations. And then when you combine it with a post-sweep POI at the exact same level, that makes it even stronger. So as you can see here, we get a nice push into that level, followed by a liquidity sweep. Then you get a change in state of delivery here using the wick, because that is stronger than just using the body. Personally, I would not feel comfortable entering in after that SSD. I would like to wait for this inverse fair value gap here as well, which then gets inversed in the very next candle. So you could enter in there, stop loss up there, target 1R with these drawn liquidity down here. And that plays out pretty nicely. And I think a few people in the Discord caught this one as well. Very nice. Beautiful. You could have gotten a lot more out of it. So yeah, that would have reached 2R if that is what you are playing. But I think 1-to-1 is pretty nice here as well. So yeah, that was it across yesterday. 4 setups. Managed to catch one. So pretty nice. Definitely learnt a lesson in watching ES and NQ. and seeing if one is in discount, and if the other isn't, then I'm happy to take longs. And also just keeping an eye out on that range between London and New York, because I have noticed some nice setups, some nice movements around that time. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. See you next time.